everyone, my mom and I just finished another album. This one is our fairy album. We used the Fairyland digital papers as well as the 12 by 12 papers that I now have available. And these, the 12 by 12 papers, these are very limited. Right now I only have 20 packs available, so if you want these, don't wait. Make sure you get them, and they are shipping out on June 15th. At the end of the video, I'll go through and show you the papers in the collection. The cover, I took one of my designs. I will have it available probably in one of the newsletters as a freebie. It's the cover, and it's got the kind of medallion on the front. And then what I did is I took, just to give you a little close-up here of the texture, I took tissue paper, white tissue paper, but you could use probably black. Black would have probably worked better. I had used white. And I just took some matte decoupage and applied the tissue paper in very light layers, a very light coat of the burnt umber, and then dry brushed like burnt sienna, which is like a reddish brown color, over it. And I used a little bit of silver rub and buffs and a little bit of gold rub and buff, just lightly over the cover, just to give it an aged kind of grungy old look, a leather look. And then I just embellished it, lots of embellishments. So that's basically what I did with the cover. And then on the spine I used some of the home decor trim. Got this at Joann's, and it just fit perfectly on the spine of the book. So just on this page was an envelope. It was printed to a 12 by 12 size, and like I said, I have the 12 by 12 papers available, so you would be able to make this size of an envelope for your book if you did get those papers. And then these are just from the digital paper pack collection, and they're cut in half to make these really large journal cards. And she just printed on the back of them. This is the grunge lace collection. This was printed on that 110-pound white cardstock, the Georgia Pacific brand. You can get it at Walmart. A pack of it I think is around $5-6 for 150 sheets. And then see, when you open the card, there pops an image of the other fairy. And then I just positioned it so that the frame would go over one of the fairies that I fussy cut out of one of the pages. Alright, on this page, try and turn it the other way here. What I did is, this is a transparency of one of the fairies, and I just enlarged it. And then underneath is a digi stamp that I printed out, and then I colored it with the Inktense pencils and blocks, but you could use watercolor pencils. I haven't had a chance to try them yet, but you could probably even use like the Spectrum aqua markers. You could use acrylics and just do washes to create a watercolor effect, or you could use watercolor paints. This basically comes down to the technique, and I do have a little tutorial on how to do this. If you haven't subscribed to the newsletter, be sure to subscribe so you can get the digi stamp, because the digi stamp image is going to be in that newsletter as one of the freebies, and then you can print it off. And I can go over how you can create your little mixed media fairy. This is again from the Fairyland paper pack number 2. But anyway, as you notice, one of the main things that I had in mind when creating this collection was to make it like field illustrations. But you could actually make a really cute planner with this and, you know, put these pages in according to certain months. You could cut this in half and use this for April and use this page for May. It would make an adorable little planner as well. Just another idea of what you could do with these papers. And then there's just this little flap here. Another, this is from the first paper pack. And then another flap was created, and underneath it says, "When dragonflies appear, you know a fairy is near." Okay, this was a die that I used in my Sizzix Pro machine, and I just got the die. I love it. Let me see. It is. Let's see if I can show this here. It is this. It is the Try Shutter Card die. So it was nice. I cut out my die cut, and then I just matted it with some of the Fairyland coordinating papers, and this dragonfly is a stamp that I did, and then I just used my ink pencils to color it. And then this just folds out to one of the lined journal pages. The lined journal pages, I just finished these. They're not on my Etsy shop yet, but they will be on there this evening. So if you go there and you don't see them, just check back tomorrow and they will be there. And then this is a little stamp. It says Field Notes, which worked perfectly for this book. I embossed it with some of the Distress embossing powders. And then these are some journal cards from the ephemera pack. And you can take these out. They do come out. Be careful here. So if you want to write on it, and all the lined pages, they come out as well. So if you want to write on it on a flat surface, it's easy to write on, and then you can just pop it back in like so. And you got the two little fairies inside, and another flap with the dragonflies. This top part, it was just a blank white space, so I used a transparency that I cut to the shape of this flap and inserted it on the inside there. And it'll include these doors, and you can make these cute little flaps, and inside there you see one of the little fairies. And then my mom, she's so clever. She cut a slit. So there's two pages. Let's see if I can get this. My camera here. So there's two pages here that are adhered together. And what she did is, before she glued them down, she created a slit on this page, and she made these little flaps here, tabs, to go inside between the two pages. So that's how she did her flaps here for these doors. Some brads for the little doorknobs, and then created this little handle here for the door, and it's just made of chipboard. And that just slides down behind the brads to keep the door closed. There's these envelopes here just filled with little fairy images, little things, little journal tags, labels. And this is where you could put, you know, little cute trinkets or memorabilia such as concert tickets, movie tickets, things, you know, that little keepsakes that you might want to place in there. And then here I just cut out one of the fairies from the pages and attached it to the front of the envelope. Used a little K & Company butterfly. And then this is one of the journal cards from the ephemera pack. And this is just one of the lined pages that's cut in half, and then I was going to place a little bit of trim that I had left over from a transparency. Just going to glue that down on the edge there and then slide it here in these photo corners. And then here is one of the journal cards from the ephemera pack, and I just fussy cut out one of the little flying squirrels here and then did a stamp that said dream, and took my Sizzix dies and matted that on there, and then just created a couple little pockets for my journal card. And on this page, there's a little transparency here. So if you put a little picture in there, you know, of a loved one or a friend, it would create a kind of a neat little collage visual effect. Again, we were trying to make this kind of an interactive keepsake journal album, and you know, I just wanted the little fun elements to it that make a book interesting. And then here is another one of the doors, and inside you see another fairy. But you could put a photo here. You could put a little journal, letter, you know, there's just so much that you could do with these books. Back over here, just got a little flap. This is using one of the journal cards. And just bent that corner, scored it, glued it down over the page like so. This, I'm going to go back to this fairy right here. This was, I think, the only fairy that I did not, that is not my own original work. This image here of this fairy was taken from a public domain image that I collaged in. So, but all these other ones, this one and all the other ones, they were original works. And here's another one of the lined journal pages that'll be in that new paper pack coming out this evening. And all of the lined journal pages, I printed those on the ivory parchment paper. And this is another journal card inside the photo corners there. And then this, I just took some washi tape so you could pull it up and write on it. Okay, and this just created, again, adhered two of the pages together and created a pocket here up at the top. Let's see if I get that in there. And then this is just a large tag created from one of the pages. And there's the other side of that pocket page. And then here, these are the Prima, some little Prima journal cards. And just layered those in there. And then here's another lined journal page. Again, these all come out like so. Just pull them out, write on them, and then you can just, you know, easily place them back into your book. And on this page I just kind of left it alone. If you want to sketch, you could sketch on that page. You could add pictures, journal. So I just left it blank, except for a little stamp. And then here's another one of the journal cards. This is from the ephemera pack. This page, this is one of my favorite pages because my mom, again, she's like this super super creative genius when she comes to doing some of these pages. And I'm so happy that I have her by my side working with me on these. I feel so blessed. Love my mom. Love you, Mom. And I don't know, you know, I wouldn't be doing probably any of this if it wasn't for her. So again, really blessed to have her working with me on a lot of these books. But she created this page, and if you turn the wheel here on the side of the page, you'll see all the little fairies popping through the little circular window there. Now this this she didn't mean for the butterfly to move with it, and that was just kind of a oops accident, but I think it's kind of cool, and so I left it. But anyway, I just think it's super cute, and I would love to do a tutorial on creating this page. So this page, there's just this little flap here, and underneath this says spread your wings, and then I used a little Tim Holtz metal embellishment there. And then these are just the lined journal pages that I cut in half. I used K & Company flower borders there to kind of finish it and give it a nice layered effect. And there's another lined journal page. And then here's one of the mushroom tags from the ephemera pack. And then these are more of the lined journal pages that was printed on the 110-pound cardstock. And then the other side was printed with the grunge lace paper. And it's just folded in half and then punched. We used a cinch machine to do all our punching. And then here's one of the little fairies. I used my oval punch to punch it out. And then just this little feather, K Company flower border. And again, I left the sticky back on there, sticky backing. And then I just glued down the end there. And then this is one of the journal cards from the ephemera pack. And more journal cards. And then again, the K & Company flower borders. I just created this little flap here. And one of the butterflies, and then this is from the ephemera pack. And those just slide in there like so. And the paper here is just some lined paper that my mom had. She tore it out from one of those cheap journals that you can get, and then just punched holes in the paper. So there's just lots of places to do journaling. And then a little envelope here. There's some journal cards inside. Here's another fairy door that'll be in that new ephemera pack. And then there's one of the journal cards. and the back part of the digital image. In this, she just took a brad here to kind of keep that closed and created a little page from one of the lined journal pages. And she's got the little fairy die cuts. And then this is just a K and Company from one of their embellishment packs. I think it was the one with the birds. It says Harmony. And then some little journal cards. And one of the mushroom tags from the ephemera pack. More lined journal pages that are cut in half. Just lots of places, again, lots of places to journal. We wanted to make sure, as I was saying, that it was a book that could be used, where you could journal in it, you could sketch in it, you could add photos. And on the back side here, just create a little pocket. And then I laid down transparency. I have my pages that I cut in half and distressed. And just slide those in there. And then on this page, I just created a little, I cut out this butterfly, fussy cut, and created a little pocket here. And then it says notes at the top. I don't know if you guys can all see that. And then I just have these little journal cards that I cut in half for journaling. I just slide right in there. And then this was made into a flap. And again, this other side goes in between these two pages that are adhered together. So it kind of slides underneath in between those two pages to make it look like it's part of that page. And then here's another flap. Lots of flaps in this book. And then just little cards that I cut. They were this length, and I just cut them in half and distressed them. And they slide perfectly under there, that little pocket. And here's another transparency that I have laying over one of the lined journal pages. And on the back side, just created a little flap here, and then this is a door stamp and another stamp that says a day to remember. So I used a couple stamps there, and then just the lined journal page. And then here's, again, more places to journal. Another one of the lined journal pages. Here's the back side. Again, just some leftover transparency that I had to create this little pocket here, and one of the journal cards. And then I just created a little flap. another envelope that was made from a 12 by 12 sheet, and then a folded lined journal page. And then on the inside of this page, I'm going to have to see if I can turn this here. This is my mom's little masterpiece. And these pages are so big, it's hard to get the whole thing in the camera. But anyway, I hope you can see that. Turn it this way, so maybe you can see this way. And then it's on this side. But I thought that was super duper duper cute. And there's the back side. And then on the last page here, I just fussy cut the words vintage, again K and Company, some little embellishments here, flowers, Prima flowers. And then I created this little peekaboo card with one of the little fairies inside. And that's it. This is our little fairy book. And if you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email. And they're on the heavier cardstock. I would say it's about 100-pound cardstock. And it's printed at you know, a very high setting. So these are quality prints that you're getting. These would look adorable framed. You could frame them. You could put them as artwork, you know, in a room. But and they're double-sided. And like I said, there's only like 20 packs available. So if you want one of these, again, don't wait. Make sure that you hurry and get them. I hope to print more later on. I just don't know when they would be available. Probably not until July, maybe August. So and they all coordinate, as you can see. All coordinates. These you could cut these and you could fold them up to create little pocket pages. You could make probably a whole album with just the 12 by 12 paper pack. And these are available either on my website or my Etsy store. Again, limited supply, only about 20 packs, so don't wait if you want these. And there's 20, I don't know if I mentioned, you get 20 sheets, there's 2 each of each design. Again, they're double-sided. And there they are. That is what you would get in the 12 by 12 paper pack. All right. Thank you for watching, and please email me if you have any questions.